The Heart of the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. I prostrate to the Arya Triple Gem. Thus did I hear at one time the Bhagavan was dwelling on massive Vulture Mountain in Rajgriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Bhagavan was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena perception. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound perfection of wisdom and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then, through the power of Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara. How should any son of the lineage train who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra. Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly beholding those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent existence. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are emptiness, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no odor, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There's no I element, and so on up to and including no mind element and no mental conscious element. There's no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there's no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. There's no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the 3 times also manifestly completely awaken to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering should be known as truth, since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared Tayata Om, Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiso. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Bhagavan arose from that concentration and commended the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage. It is like that. It is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom just as you've indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Bhagavan, having thus spoken, the Venerable Sharadvatiputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, and those surrounding in their entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Bhagavan. Short mandala offering in English. Or Geshe, would you like to do it in Tibetan?
No, you English.
English. This ground, anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, 4 continents, the sun and the moon, I imagine this as a Buddha field and offer it. May all living beings enjoy this pure land. Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryatayami. Taking refuge in generating bodhicitta in Tibetan 3 times. Sangye
Chopa Soji Chona La Janju Bade Tane Jasan Che Dagi Che Sonje Re Sonam Ki Drola Beche Sangye Drupa Sho
Sangye
Chodo
chodam
Zoji
soje
Chona
chodam
La
la
Janche
janchu
Batu
bardu
Dani
dagi
Jasun
chapsuchi
Dagi
dagi
Jasun
chenen
Jebe
gipe
Sonamgi
sonamgi drola
Drola
penche
Penche
sangye
Sanjin
drupa
Drupa
sho.
Jo Sanje
Sangye
Chodam
chodam
Soji
sogi
Chona
chodam la
La
janchu
Janche
bardu
Batu
dagi
Dani
chapsuchi dagi
Dagi
chenen
Jinji
gipe
Jebe Sonamgi
sonamgi
Drola
drola
Penche
penche
Sanjin
sangye drupa
Drupa Jo
sho.
Gange dozen ni so nen da wa dan je ba me je da bi chu ne dun ze ba bon dam de la chang ca lo. Do ni ni ji song den ju bi la jin ji san za gan jin dan zhong ge jiang na bei man de zhe jiang zhong na zong an de zhen xin de len zhe xiong. Dan bo la ye gen da le dan ne ji gen zhe bo da na me gen na dan zhuang gen ji zhe na ji sa ma tam ji ge dong da gi qian dong dong. Thank you. Today's topic is how to be our own therapist. So today I'm going to talk about mind in the detail. What is mind? Where is mind? Especially something, what is mind function? So first we should understand answer of this question. Where does the mind's essence reside? Where is mind? We need to know where is mind and what is mind. When we examine where our mind is located from head to foot or toe, we find that the mind's essence is not located anywhere between our head and feet. However, we do not examine it, we have the impression or feeling that when our head hurt and when we have headache, the mind is on top of the head. And when our hand, hand hurt and the pains with our hand, the mind is on top of the hand. Again, we may ask, where does the mind's essence reside? It seems to be spread, out everywhere from head to foot, and no fixed location can be pointed to. Likewise, the mind is not its own shape and not fit and not thin or round. As I mentioned many times, mind is not a form and non-touchable. Likewise, the mind has no color and no shape. When we do not examine it, we have the impression that when we see blue, the mind is blue. And when we see red, something, different color, red, the mind is red. Our feeling or impression is that the mind and external object are sometimes separated. but sometimes sometimes together. There are all kinds of such impressions when we look at it. We find that the mind is neither large or small. The mind itself is very bright and light, and it has the potential to know everything and see everything. The nature of the mind is clear light, and the nature of the mind is not polluted and not delusion. But our mind, present mind is polluted by the delusions, many different delusions and bad karmas. So we are unable to realize the true nature of reality. As I mentioned, many times, mind itself, very clear light and bright, but our present mind is polluted by delusions, and so we are unable to realize the true nature of reality. For example, if gold is polluted by rubbish, nobody can see it, nobody can use it, nobody can see it clearly, nobody could realize that is gold. And if a gold statue, for example, if a gold statue is diluted by dirty clothes, we can't see it. But if we take off this dirty clothes, then we can see and we can use the statue, and then we can be happy with it because we see its true value. Buddha gave us many teachings on, many this kind of examples. Our mind nature is exactly the same, something gold, which diluted by the many different dirty clothes. If we through meditation, if we take off this kind of dirty clothes, then we can see reality nature of the mind. What is mind? Reality. And exactly the same when we take off dirty clothes, then we can see gold statue very clearly, and then we can use. So for that reason, first we should understand this kind of the nature of the mind. Then we will understand what appears to the mind is not the same as what is it. What it is. Because we have all sort of perceptions in our minds, good or bad. Many different appears to our mind. Good, bad, black, yellow, right? And also tasty and not tasty. We perceive, many different kinds in our minds. But they are not, as real. They appear to our mind. And we think they are, as real as what the appearances, appearance of our minds is. So this is a problem. So we get attached to good things and we get angry at bad things, get angry. For this reason, we are unhappy and suffer. We have a lot of problems in our life. Because we think, there is real as what the appearances of our minds. For these reasons, we are unhappy and suffering. We have a lot of suffering. We should realize this is a big difference between what appears to our mind and what actually, existing. It's very, very different. We should understand and realize there is a big difference between what appears to our mind and what actually, exists. When you understand, and realize a difference between what appears to your mind and what actually exists and reality, then you can be happy and you can be patient and you can handle your life easily. What we perceive and the reality of object are different because through ignorance and afflictions, delusions, everything we perceive, it is like illusion. That means illusions from delusions and ignorance. Whatever appears due to ignorance is also an illusion or only hallucination, hallucination. So now I want to make clearly all the illusions and the hallucinations from delusions and ignorance. And in Buddhism, there is a description of how things appear due to karma and due to ignorance. There are two different appears. Okay, how things appear due to karma and how to appear due to ignorance. For example, when a hungry ghost look at a cup of water, it appears as blood. When we look at one cup of water, human being and hungry ghosts and gods. When a hungry ghost look at a cup of water, it appears to as blood. This is due to their karma. When human beings look at water, a cup of water, it appears as water, this is pure water, because this is our karma. We can use this cup of water, and we can drink, we can see, and appear to us as water. But hungry ghosts, they can't use water, cup of water, they can't drink, they can't see you as water. This it appears to just like blood. Due to their karma. And when gods look at our cup of water, it appears as a nectar, nectar. This is also their karma. So there are many different appearances, many different perceptions due to karma, due to ignorance, and due to delusions. That's why, as like me, ordinary person, what is appear to my mind, totally illusion and hallucination. So as I mentioned before, big difference between what appears to our mind and what actually exists. Because all of us what appear to our mind, they are illusion and hallucination. Not true. Same like hungry ghosts. When a hungry ghost look at water, cup of water, it appears to blood. It's blood. Exactly the same. Therefore, we should understand that two kinds of appearances. First one comes from ignorance, and another one comes from karma. Therefore, we need to, understand that that all sufferings and problems come from hallucinations and illusions. So, hallucinations and illusions come from where? Come from ignorance and karma. So we should understand those three things very important. All our problems, all our sufferings, and negative emotions from illusion, from hallucinations. The hallucinations and illusions come from where? Ignorance and karma. We need to understand on these three things. Then maybe we can, change ourselves, and we can be patient and we can be happy. And in this way, we can be our own therapist. So, if we don't understand this and think that all appearances are real, we never be free from suffering and problems. If we follow, our appearances and we think that is real and true, due to this kind of the misconceptions, misunderstand, then we get more problem. And in this way, we can increase attachment and, ego and selfish. That is why we shouldn't think our appearances are true and real, because our appearances are not true and not real. And because if we are thinking our appearances are true and real, then we will get angry and we have attachment, and we can't control ourselves. We can't control ourselves from, emotions. We can't control ourselves from strong emotions. But if we don't control ourselves from our emotions, then we want to fight, and we want to make others unhappy and uncomfortable. Then we want to, then we want argument, and then we want to make unhappy other people, and then we want to fight with other people. So I hope if we understand those things, we can be our own therapist, and really we can handle our lives very easily. Through meditation, if we could take off a single or a very tiny delusions, then our mind is a little more clear and can be free from small part of the delusions. Then we can be happy. In this way, gradually, slowly, we can develop inner peace, and we can develop peaceful state of mind. So, we need to meditate on mind. This is the best way to be our own therapist. And we need to understand more about mind, really. And we need to understand more about, mind's function. What is illusion? What is hallucination? What is appearance? And what is nature mind? What is reality? Mind reality. As I told you, as I mentioned, many times, so everything is from mind, within mind. Really, good or bad. We have many different, emotions. All those emotions come from where? From mind. So, we make clean our mind, and we take off, this kind of the dirty minds, dirty emotions, delusions, anger, attachment. Take off, one by one, and gradually, through meditation. Really, Buddha said that, we can't wash our mind with water. It's just very clear. We can't, cut our negative karmas with hand, with knife. So now how we can make cleaner mind, how we can see mind reality. So, we need to meditate on mind. Then we can see. Then we can see our what is mind and what is mind, where is mind, how to control our mind. Then we know. As I mentioned, mind is rider. Wind is, horse. And mindfulness is, what is a bridle or, controller. Controller, really, That's why we need, meditate on mind. And we need to develop, mindfulness. So, always in this mindful, remind ourselves, and especially our awareness, control ourselves. So this is very important. That's why we need to meditate, more on mind. So today I made clearly where is from, problems. All our small problems or big problems, every these problems from emotions, These emotions come from where? Illusions and hallucinations. These hallucinations and illusions come from where? Our, appears to mind. And appearances. Many different appearances. This kind of appearances come from where? Karma, ignorance. That's why, there's a very big different appearance and, actually real, what is existence. So now this kind of delusions and all delusions come from where? Ignorance. This ignorance and attachments, delusions come from where? Mind. Also, if we should understand, okay, delusions and ignorance also part of the mind, isn't it? But mind is not delusion. Mind is not ignorance. Mind is not pollution. But delusion is mind. Ignorance is mind, part of mind. So we through meditation and through maintaining and to understand about more about mind. In this way, through this way, we can make clean mind, and we manifested our mind nature, mind power, true nature, true mind nature, and true power. Then we can be happy, then we can open mind, then we can control ourselves, then we can handle our lives very easily. Really, Buddha's teachings are, 99% he talk about, mind. Always they talk about mind. Why? Because mind is the main source of all the problems and all the emotions, and also of course happiness from our mind, and all the sufferings from mind. According to the many Tibetan masters, if you realize, when you realize mind and mind reality and nature of the mind, then you can be free from suffering. Many Tibetan masters said that then naturally we liberated from suffering, suffering from samsara, suffering of samsara. So so this is very important to understand about mind. If you examine, then it can be clear for you, ourselves, clear for us. Others no listen and no study and no meditate and no contemplate on mind. We never know about mind, really. If we don't know about mind, then we never can control and change ourselves. And we can't change, we can't develop mind's attitude for better. So, all the practices we need used to, understand the reality of mind, reality mind. This is very important. So, maybe now I'm going to stop here, and if you have questions, ask me. Maybe we're going to discuss, just in open mind. Whatever you want to say, free. Whatever you want to ask me, okay, no problem.
So I have two questions. How does realization and awareness, when you're talking about mind, you're talking about the Tibetan masters, how does that actually, though, translate into transformation?
What?
Okay, so you're talking about the Tibetan masters and their realization and awareness of mind. But how does that act of realization and awareness translate into action, into transformation?
Yes.
It doesn't necessarily follow.
Now, if you understand, your mind, especially if you understand yourself, then you can, keep yourself on your position. And then you can make beautiful, your mind beautiful, good heart. Because now you realize, reality. You understand reality. So now very easy to you transform your mind. You can transform your mind very easily.
But with that understanding, does
Now,
that...
as I mentioned that, everything, all the problems come from where? Misunderstand. If you realize yourself, understand yourself, who you are, and if you understand about your mind clearly, then you can transform, you can change.
But how can that necessarily produce a happy life?
Of course, a happy life is our goal, goal of life.
But how does it follow necessarily? Just realization and awareness and transformation doesn't necessarily always produce happiness.
Yes. We want happiness, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we need to produce happiness. We need to create the cause of happiness.
And the cause is?
So we understand more, and we need to understand reality. Then we can produce cause of happiness.
So you're going to be happy because you've understood the nature of reality? That's going to
Yes.
necessarily make you happy? Why?
Of course.
Why?
Of course. As I mentioned that, all the problems from ignorance and misunderstand, misconception, and illusion and hallucinations. This is very clear.
So once those veils
Yeah.
fall away, happiness comes
Yeah,
automatically.
that's why I talked about Tibet masters. If you eliminate these illusions and hallucinations and misunderstands, then you can produce happiness. Then you can get happiness. Tibet master said that this naturally you can, automatically you can get happiness.
How do you know happiness itself isn't a delusion or an illusion?
Sorry?
How do you know that happiness itself isn't necessarily a delusion or an illusion?
No, this is not delusion.
It's not what?
Happiness, what is the meaning of the happiness? First we need to understand.
Yes.
Yes, it is not delusion, it is not illusion. What is a delusion?
What is it?
It is a full satisfaction.
Full satisfaction.
Yeah. Happiness means full satisfaction, you know.
But you know what the Rolling Stones said.
This is a happiness. Okay, any question?
So, well, my other question, quickly, it's very difficult for me to understand how karma can produce three different reality states concerning the same thing, the water, for example. Simultaneously, how can the water be nectar, blood, or water? How can you have those
No, this is very
separate
difficult.
existential states occurring at the
I know,
same
yeah.
time? I don't understand how karma can do that.
That's why in Buddhist, according to Buddhist philosophy, everything depends on mind, isn't it? Good or bad or yellow or red or everything depends on mind. That once a cup of tea, cup of water, you know, so due to the hungry ghost karma, it is appear to, you know, not water, it is blood. Appear to as blood.
So karma and mind are
Of course.
completely linked.
No, as I mentioned, you know, karma's from where? Mind.
Right.
Karma created from mind. Karma, bad karmas from, you know, especially from, you know, delusions.
Right.
That's why that karma, you know, very, very bad karma, you know, what is meant, you know. So bad karma, this bad karma, you know, transforming water into blood. For example, you know.
So what's happening if I'm psychotic and I look at water and I see it as blood? What's actually going on there? Am I
No, you can see.
like if I'm hallucinating and I see blood rather than water, have I suddenly, I don't know, shifted into the hungry ghost realm? What's going on?
No, you never see that. You never see blood from cup of water.
Well, I would if I'm tripping, if I took LSD, or it's possible.
It's not possible because you are a human being.
No, people have hallucinations a lot, so I don't
No, you
understand.
always see water, don't worry. Because you are a human being. So, any question?
Psychologists would disagree, but anyway.
Yeah, sometimes, of course, you know, not easy to understand about karma. Very difficult, really, really. Karma is infinite, very deep, very profound, and especially we need to believe in karma. You know, so we consider that, you know, karma is, you know, something really, you know, religious matter. Really.
Well, philosophically, it's one of the great concepts in Buddhism. It really is.
Sorry?
Philosophically, it's one of the great concepts, one of the most profound concepts in Buddhism.
Yeah.
I think.
No, but of course, karma, actually, this is very profound and very deep, not easy to understand clear about karma. Buddha also said sometimes, in somewhere, karma is what is sometimes, this beyond mind, beyond word, beyond the explanation. Really, So, example, some birds, okay? Some birds, they have very beautiful, color, red, yellow, and what is blue. So many different colors, isn't it? It's very beautiful, Looks like very, carefully, painted, beautifully painted. Now someone ask, this kind of this beautiful colors, from karma. We believe all these beautiful colors are from karma, but
Natural
very
selection.
difficult to understand. This yellow from which karma? Red ones come from which karma? What kind of he created and different karmas? Very difficult, especially time of karma. When he created this karma, when he created that karma, very difficult. Many things beyond our mind, but not beyond the Buddha's mind. Okay, this is very important. Buddha could see very clearly everything, very clearly, and not beyond the Buddha's mind and higher Bodhisattva's mind. I mean, this is many, this kind of things, beyond our mind.
It's not beyond our mind. It's Darwin's theory of natural selection, which is one of the greatest discoveries of the 19th century. That I'd be really interested in knowing what a Buddhist philosopher who knows about those things how they would comment on it in light of what we're just talking about with karma. Because natural selection explains those.
So, of course, many things beyond the science people. As many things beyond the science. Because, science is still, they can't, still they couldn't discover about mind. What is mind? Now maybe they already start, research about mind.
Yeah.
That's why, if you don't understand about mind clear, you can't talk about karma. Very difficult. You can't talk about, past life, next life. Totally, beyond the scientists and science people mind and science.
I think karma can be integrated into the concept of the Darwinian concept of natural selection, definitely. But it hasn't really been talked about much. Anyway.
If you have question, anyone? Through the Zoom, from Zoom? Okay, please pray. Yeah.
Mary?
There is one question from Zoom from Christina. What are some of the greatest misperceptions and misunderstandings about mind that Westerners have? Pardon me?
I think we lost you, Mary. No, we got you. Video, but I didn't hear you. You were speaking, but I couldn't hear you.
What are some of the greatest misperceptions and
I didn't hear
misunderstandings?
you. I see your lips moving.
Can you
put chat?
the questions
Mary?
in chat? So can the Buddhist Center read the question in chat?
Yeah. Lou's working on it. But it's so much is happening in the Gompa with the
They can
stuff.
they can see us. Okay, no problem. You
Some of the
can.
greatest, oh, there is a question. What are some of the greatest misperceptions and misunderstandings about mind that Western something? I only saw West.
What is he said? What is misconceptions come from?
We don't know what the end of this question is because it wasn't showing up, so I'm not going to assume. But
Okay.
something about what are the greatest misconceptions and misunderstandings.
Okay, anyway.
Can you unmute, Mary?
No, you can do short prayer. It's okay.
Well, she
conclusion.
puts them up, but then I don't see them now. Okay.
Now fine?
Dedication prayer in English. Due to the merits of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the state of a Guru Buddha and lead all living beings without exception into that enlightened state. May the supreme jewel bodhicitta that has not arisen arise and grow, and may that which has arisen not diminish, but increase more and more. Long life prayer for His Holiness the Dalai Lama in Tibetan. Gangri Rawe
Dewe Shinkandi Pendang Dewa Malun Choyin Zewang Dinzi Jatso Shape Senta Bardu Tenjunji.
Prayer for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Peerless teacher and assembly of the children of the victorious ones, Sravakas and Prachika Buddhas, victorious Lozang, father and sons along with the lineage masters, all the objects of refuge of infinite lands, please bestow the virtue and goodness of accomplishing this prayer here and now. Holding and spreading the Muni's precious and complete teachings through explanation and practice, you wore the armor of patience that is never discouraged. Incomparable, venerable Guru, to you I make request. While striving single-pointedly for the sake of the victorious one's teachings, the sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge, and for mother living beings, you suddenly departed to peace. What a great loss. Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean of the three jewels and the great waves of bodhicitta of the children of the victorious ones, may the smile of a reincarnation swiftly beam in glory for fortunate disciples. Thank you, Mary, Shayla, Zach, Christina.
Jisina Kane Patandua, Jisuna Jibo, the Zindan in Nation, Druidong, Sewa, Show, Chatokology, Javon, Jito, Keva, Samo, Sanjito, Kala Candidate, Zumba Chirisela, Chatsalo, Mani Peme, 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 Jambeba, Jinda, Chambata, Kundu Sambo, the Antishiti, the Dagunji, Jisundaya, Gewandi, Tantam Jera, Dong. Sinje nepa jinje pa nitu nele tanchi ndoye nene male pa tatun joa me pa sho chanche sencho rinpoche ma che pa na che che wa nyampa me pa ya kone kondi pe wa sho